Hello, happy Friday. I'm just sitting here with my coffee, so get yourself settled in, whatever you need to get. We're going to be doing 11-2, so you might want to grab that worksheet right now. So the other day we talked about multiplying fractions and whole numbers. I hope that wasn't too difficult for you. So for example, let's do 7 times 4 fifths. Okay, so we talked about how when you're multiplying a whole number and a fraction, whatever your answer is going to be less than the original whole number you started with, right? Because this number right here, 4 fifths, is less than 1, okay? So 7 times 4 fifths, I'm going to multiply the 7 times 4, which is 28. And then the 5 stays there, so it's 28 fifths, but I cannot leave it like that. So I'm going to think, how many times does 5 go into 28? It goes in 5 times with a remainder of 3 and 5. So 7 times 4 fifths is 5 and 3 fifths. And as you can see, this number, like I said, is smaller than the original whole number that we started with, okay? So understanding that is going to be really important today. So basically what we're doing today is you don't even really need to multiply. You're going to be thinking about like scaling. So I'll show you an example right now, but you're going to be thinking about comparing two numbers, thinking about which one is bigger than the other or smaller than the other, in order to help you estimate in the next lesson, okay? And you can't hear the sound, so I will kind of narrate what it's saying. So we're going to be using number sense to evaluate the size of a product when multiplying a fraction by a whole number, okay? Or in this case, I guess, a mixed number. All right. So Sue knitted 4 scarves 4 feet long for her friends Joe, Alan, and June. After a month, they compared the lengths of their scarves, as you can see in this table. Some scarves had stretched and some had shrunk for some reason. I don't know why a scarf would shrink. The results are shown in the chart. How had the lengths of the scarves changed? Okay. So what is scaling and resizing? Is making it bigger or smaller. So if you're scaling something, like you might see, I think we saw when we went on our field trip to the 49ers stadium, like a scaled down version of the stadium. So, the real stadium is however many times bigger than the model of it, for example. Or you might see like a replica. Those are scaling, okay? So the original one that we had was 4. So compare the other scarves to Sue's scarf, since the lengths of the others are based on the length of hers. So we're going to use a number line, and you can definitely do that with your worksheet. So her scarf, I think I don't know what unit of measurement we're doing. Oh, feet. Okay. So her scarf is 4 feet long. So as you can see, they drew a line that is as long as Sue's scarf. Okay. So then you're going to think about Joe's stretched. According to the chart, it is 1.5 times longer as Sue's. So multiplying a number, this is very important. Multiplying a number by a fraction greater than 1, such as 1 1/2, results in a product greater than the starting number. Because this is more than 1, the answer that we come up with is going to be longer. And if you think about it, if Sue's scarf is 4 feet and his is 1.5 times longer, then the number is going to be bigger than 4, right? You don't even have to do the multiplication here. You just know that this answer is going to be greater than 4. Remember, if you're doing greater than or less than, think of it as like the crocodile eating, the fish, or Pac-Man and wants to eat the bigger one, right? So this is what you're doing on your worksheet. So when you draw a line for Joe's scarf, it's going to be 1.5 times as long as Sue's. So Alan's, for whatever reason, shrunk, and it's only 3/4 of the length of oh my god, I can't speak, of Sue's scarf. So think about it. Will the line for Alan's scarf be bigger or smaller than the line for, oh my gosh, it's like a tongue twister. Will his scarf be bigger or smaller than the line for Sue's? Take 10 seconds to think about that, given what you learned yesterday. So if you said that Alan's scarf is going to be shorter than Sue's, you're correct, because this number, 3/4, is less than 1. So that means that the number that we end up with is going to be less than 4. So like I said earlier, multiplying a number by a fraction less than 1 results in a product less than the starting number. So here, the 4 is bigger than Alan's, right? We're not actually multiplying anything. We're just thinking about what these fractions are. So the line for Alan's scarf is smaller than the line for Sue's. And then June's stayed the same. How do I know? Why does Why does 3/3 times 4 mean the same thing? Think about it. Take 10 seconds to think about it. Okay, so 3/3 is the same as 1. If you had 3/3 of a pie, you would be the whole pie, right? So, and also you're thinking about this little bar right here as dividing, right? So 1 times 4 is 4, which means that June's scarf stayed the same. So multiplying a fraction equal to 1 results in a product equal to the starting number. So 3/3 is the same as 1, right? Even if this was 7/7 times 4, it would still be 4, right? Because 7/7 is the same as 1 when the numerator and the denominator are the same. So that's an equivalent fraction. Okay, so June's scarf is the same length as Sue's. And then here they actually did the multiplication, so you can see. Alrighty. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me look at the I'm not going to call it homework because it's just work that you're doing. So this is the reteaching side, which you're going to do today, and then you're going to do the other one maybe over the weekend, whatever you decide, okay? So let's think about it. Let's look at number 1. So it says, well, I'm going to go back and read this. I'm not going to ignore this. This is good stuff right here. So multiplication as scaling or resizing. So multiplying a number by a fraction greater than 1 results in a product greater than the starting number. So if I'm multiplying a fraction greater than 1, such as 2.5, it's going to be greater than the starting number. Okay, so the starting number here is 5. So that's why the mouth is going towards those two. Multiplying a number by a fraction less than 1 results in a product less than the starting number. Okay, so 3/4 is less than 1, so it's going to be less than 5. And remember, if you're multiplying by a fraction equal to 1, such as 2 halves, or 1 times 5 is the same, right? So you're going to do the greater than, less than, or equal sign right here. So let's do number 1 together. So 3 halves, oh my gosh, sorry. 3.5 times 3 1/3, blank 3.5, okay? So think to yourself right now how you might use these rules to answer that question. So these are all the starting numbers, right? So if you think about this one, sure, think of it as a scarf if you want. So 3.5. And I'm multiplying 3.5 by 3 1/3. And because this number right here is greater than 1, I know that 3.5 times 1/3 is greater than 3.5. Okay? So this sign right here. Okay? Let's do number 2. 2/3 times 2 1/3. Think about it. So if I'm multiplying 2 1/3 by a number less than 1, such as 2/3, that means that 2 1/3 is bigger here. So you're going to use this symbol, okay? Remember, I'm not asking you to multiply. Do not try. I mean, you can if you want, but it's going to make your life a lot harder if you actually sit there and multiply these all out. And besides that, I haven't taught you that yet. So think about using these 3 rules if it's greater than, less than, or equal to. Remember, please let me know if you don't get it. I'm literally so bored, so I will definitely FaceTime you or Google Hangout or whatever. So don't be shy. Let me know. Good luck.